The fear of success. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's a joke. Nobody's actually afraid of success, right? That's not really a real problem, right? This is a real fear. This is a deep, deep fear for a lot of people. It holds more people back than anything. See, we view success as a before and after event. As, well, yesterday I was a failure. Today I'm successful. But here's the problem. We don't know that person. That's scary. We don't know who that person is. That person's a stranger. Who is that? I don't know who that is. We know this. We know the person on this side of it. We don't know the person when it gets over there. We make up crazy, honestly, a little crazy. Now, look, your fear is your fear. But we go, well, what if I lose my ambition? Will I stop going forward if I succeed? What is there after that? Will I lose my community? And some of us, we talked about it earlier, we don't feel worthy of success. I get more comments about this that would hold me back if I cared to listen than anything else. So many stupid people that think going to a gym is better than a theme park. Somehow they do not understand. They don't have a clue how much walking you do at a theme park. And so they'll leave lots of comments. It's like, so many comments. It was like, why are you doing this? You should be at a gym. You shouldn't be at a theme park. You're trying to make obesity look good. And if I cared to listen to those people, every now and then it'll cut through, and there's that little voice that says, yeah, they're right. You fat piece of junk. Not what I say in my own head. It's a lot worse. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve to be going out and making videos with thousands of views. You don't deserve to go to theme parks. You've been fat all your life. What do you know about any of this? What do you know about motivating people? You can't even motivate yourself to lose weight. Anybody else have that self-talk in their head? You guys, does anybody else suffer from that? You deal with that? We have to disconnect our identity from victimhood. Most of you know, if you follow me, I don't make a secret of it, that I'm gay. Now, I don't make that my identity either, but I happen to be gay. There are a lot of people that would be considered in my world, in my community, that make being gay or being trans or being a woman or being whatever it is out there, that isn't just a part of their identity, it becomes their identity. And they don't just view themselves as someone that's gay, they view themselves as, well, people hate me for this, or people don't like me for this, or I am a victim because of this. This is one thing I hate about modern society, and this is a very dangerous thing for me to say on social media, and I completely understand that, but I have to say it. Because you are more than your identity, you are more than your sexuality, you are more than your gender. You deserve more than viewing yourself solely through that lens. Well, other people view me through that. Who cares? How they view you does not decide your future. How they view you does not decide how you view yourself. I grew up very conservative Christian. I am still pretty conservative Christian. I just happen to be gay. There's not a lot of places that I will fit in a church or in that world anymore. Told y'all I was going to get vulnerable. But I don't let their view of me determine my view of me. That's what I'm able to push forward. Let's talk about overcoming that fear. Once again, you're there. You've now made the trip. You've succeeded. You are the person that you've wanted to be, that you've thought about being, whatever success looks like. Maybe it's that Disney trip. Maybe it's starting that business. Maybe you are a successful business owner and there's things that's happened and changed in your life. Did you happen to lose your ambition? All right, well, I've gone to Disney. That's my bucket list. It's fulfilled. Or do you have a plan to grow? You know, the great thing is when you make it to a mountaintop, when you make it to the peak, you can see the next mountain. You're never just there. It's never over. I heard someone say once, I never want death to find me at the end sliding down an old mountain. I want it to find me climbing a new one. That's my life. That's what I want. I hope it's what you want, to find something new. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing a challenge. That's why I'm launching a podcast. That's why I'm doing all this video. What's it mean to be at the top? What does that mean? When you, in your mind, if you want to overcome the fear of success, if you want to become that person, you've got to make it worthwhile. You've got to see it so clearly that you see it as worthwhile. You see yourself as the person that can do it, that can move forward, that is that person, that you see that when you've gotten there, it's worth whatever struggle it is. It's worth saving money. It's worth embarrassment. It's worth maybe having to get rid of old friends. I did not expect to say this. Okay, here we go. 2013. Oh my gosh, it's been 10 years. Did not realize that until just now. 10 years ago, I cut my dad off. Didn't have a problem with me being gay or anything like that. He was the kind of person that every time I talked to him, I felt worse about me. He had something to tear down. He had something to berate. I don't even think he meant it. I know where he came from. I know what his childhood was like. And I forgive him for it. But it wasn't, especially at that time, in my life where I was in a place to continuously deal with that. So I cut him off. And most people will not say this, but 10 years later, I can tell you it was the right decision to make. And I do not tell people to cut their family off. That is something that you do not do unless it is a last straw. I see people online trying to tell kids to do it that come from my community, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't care if you don't get along with them. That is the last thing you need to do after trying everything else. He ended up passing away 3 years later. And the older you get, the more you can see the good things that your parents gave you. Gave me a passion for sales, passion for business, for entrepreneurship. I was 4 years old running a stand at the Jockey Lot flea market. You can be thankful for those things in your life. Doesn't mean I didn't make the right decision cutting him off, because my success, my life, my future was worth it. And again, it was the last step after many years of trying. So please do not take that lightly. Ever. Family is so important. Did not expect to get there. Okay. I'm reading a new book right now, by the way. It's called, just came out very, very recently. It's called 10x is better than 2x. And the concept is that if you have a vision for your life, if you have a vision to do something, that it's easier to change your thinking for that massive thing than this little thing. Then if you just 2x your life, if you just want to double, that's just hard work. You just keep doing more of the same. You just keep building out and doing more of that. But to 10x your life, you've got to change your thinking. You're forced into a place where it can't just be more work. Typically, it's going to be less work. You got to stop doing less stuff. You got to start doing less stuff that doesn't matter and start focusing only on what does matter and change your thinking drastically. So if you want to overcome the fear, if you want to overcome all of this fear, try that. Try viewing your life massively. Don't just think, well, what if I could do this little thing? What if try listening to the book. I haven't made it all the way through yet. But what if I did not just this, but I did this? This hangs up in my doorway. I don't know how much you guys can see it on screen. Let me switch. Nope. All right. So you guys cannot see that. Wait, how if I do this? Hold on. 1 second. Those of you on TikTok can see this right now, and you're like, what's he doing? All right. Nope. All right. Anyway, it's a poster of the critic of the quote from Theodore Roosevelt, the man in the arena. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, but there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. That's the message I look at every day when I come into my apartment. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This was terrifying. This was me pushing past the fear of ridicule. This was me pushing past the fear of failure. So I hope you liked it. I hope it gave you some confidence to move into tomorrow, into planning that trip. Tomorrow, the next few days, we're gonna actually plan we're gonna actually talk about planning your trip. We're gonna dive into the tips and tricks and all the practical stuff. But before I did that, I wanted to make sure that you actually thought through. Poor Facebook, they just keep messing up. But I wanted to make sure you actually thought through how to think and overcome fear and overcome failure. I'm going to stay on TikTok for a little bit longer before I get onto the VIP. If you'd like to register for VIP, make sure to go and do that. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And let's talk about, I've got some homework for you, especially those of you. Please come over. This is all about fear inoculation. That's what we've been talking about. I want you to list out your fears. If you get the worksheet, I have a place in there for you to do that. Then I want you to as we've talked about today, imagining them coming true, and make it as emotional as possible. Be in that moment. Be in that moment of failure. Think through the consequences. What happened? What happened if you didn't do this or you did do this? What happens if you succumb to your failure or you beat your failure? Then adjust your plans. Try it again. Go through your head. All right, we figured out this is a place I can fail. Now let's try this one. And then repeat it. Work it out in your head. You don't have to do it in person yet. Work it out in your head. And if you're on my Facebook group for Fat Tested Travel, do me a favor and leave a post. Go share a post there and tell me about your dream vacation. Tell me about your fears. Tell me about what concerns you have. And then be back here tomorrow at 6:30 and we're going to dive back in. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for joining me, and let me know. Please send me a message if you enjoyed this. Let me know